Right. We are back with more Final Fantasy 16 side quests.
Or at least a semblance of it. Cole told us everything that happened. It's a bit of a worry that both the Republican and Imperial armies are in disarray. But it was good to hear that the people stood their ground.
Do you like being struck by thunderbolts from on high? Then don't let anything happen to Mid. Yeah?
Blasted book. Here, you put me in this situation, Clive. You can bloody well get me out of it. I need a hand with a recipe.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for? I'm not much of a cook.
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time.
My
right?
sword, you say?
Perhaps your sword. You remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, and that awful stench, people wolf it down. So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself. Had a peek at the book and gave it a go, but, well...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan had the same problem.
Yeah, but this is my blooming kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favourites, Molly. And I would be only too happy to lend you a hand. So, what's on the menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm. That's one heck of a name, innit? Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd followed it to a T. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Ivan said the recipes on the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Used to say the ingredients even exist anymore.
Wow. That's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps
Why don't you talk to a scholar, perhaps?
Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates. Perhaps he'll know something. And if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
What reputation?
I thought I had it all worked out, but I'm buggered if I know where to find skyworm livers and drake's mint. Best hope everyone's favourite know-it.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid's scales, the ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, well, they vanished. My first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them, as always. My biggest worry is that the children have somehow damaged the scales, but are wary of asking for help because they think they'll be punished. And if I find out
I'll
that's the
spank
case,
some sense
I
into them.
swear I'll take the switch to every last one of them.
Right, that's the spirit.
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book.
Oh, hello. I thought you went to the shop.
Valicia, a culinary pilgrimage, a classic. One of my favorites, in fact. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
Oh no.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's mint.
That's so sad.
So the fabled Sandbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never fail to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
That sounds exactly like what you would expect, actually.
How very Sandbrequois.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the saints.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the drake's mint?
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance, a herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding them. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other. To Northreach, then.
Do save me a bite once the dish is complete. Knowledge hoarded is knowledge lost. One can only speculate as to why fried mortress of skyworm might have fallen out of favor. Perhaps the rampant popularity of the dish led to a decline in the blueback wyvern population. Or perhaps fashion is to blame. A sprig of cheerful yellow drake's mint pinned to the lapel was once quite the statement among Sandbrequ's fashion-conscious nobility. Regardless, the only place you'll now find both herb and dragon is on the coast near Northreach. Fare thee well, my friend.
There's a storm coming soon.
There will not be thunder.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Oh, hello there. Our hearts and arms remain ever open. She's not very subtle, is she?
Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Why would he be at Martha's Rest?
I gonna do? But no more.
Is everything all right, Goose? You seem more discomposed than usual.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I'm in a bit of a muddle. Oh, I think Nan might be in trouble, and she's...
It's all right. You can tell me.
There was a trader came by. One of our usuals, like... Said he'd heard some rotten rumours about her down Dallymill Way. Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance to make a coin or two, aye, but she'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hurting people who haven't done out. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but I'm scared she'll give us a tongue lashing. She'd never give your tongue a lashing, though, would she?
Don't worry.
See, well,
I'll speak to her.
Oh, thanks, Clive. You'll let me know what she says, won't you?
No.
Of course. I'm sure it's all just a misunderstanding.
Nan sometimes sells swords and that, but never to anyone who's not a friend of ours. That's how it's been for as long as I've known her. You don't think it's true what people are saying? Yeah?
I heard the Emperor was impaled on his own son's spear.
Never. Ding on the bolt. Kinsale.
We're all gonna die! You hear me? The Akashic are coming and they won't stop until they've slaughtered every single one of us!
What do you reckon we should do? I say we should just tell Miss Shirley.
You'll get us all straight. I'm telling you, I can fix them.
These brats are in for a nice whipping.
Sid! Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh!
And just how long hasn't it been one?
We're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Middledore showed us.
Miss Middledore? Why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Middledore said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well then, your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we?
Must have been magic keeping those scales together. It's the only explanation.
All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Middeldoll's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride
Getting
one
a
day?
bit distracted.
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe do.
Good thinking. You're on the right track. This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Minadol's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round and round and round and round.
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
Not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
We know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? It's not so difficult. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh goots? I don't think you'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings, if you're a chocobo. And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. Ah, all finished.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're Miss Minadol's hairs.
Her hairs?
Yeah, hairs for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Minadol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
You hear that? It won't be long.
Until then, though, do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you?
No way. There's always a gear left over.
The girls here can have Otto and Gab.
Didn't happen to forget anything, did you, Sid?
Cheeky brats.
We're all gonna die! You hear me? The Akashic are coming and they won't stop until they've slaughtered every single one of us.
I heard the Emperor was impaled on his own son's spear. Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be...
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them at least. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy you are. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
Oh, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very grateful. If Mid is teaching my pupils her secrets, I suppose I should brush up on some of them myself.
Lady Karen. How's business?
Not nearly as foul as the weather.
You're doing good trade then? Both in and out of the hideaway?
Can't complain. Wait, what exactly are you getting at? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care, but here you are today raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto?
Just asking. Out of interest. All right. I'm here because I was told that certain rumors have been circulating. About you selling weapons to brigands.
Oh, are you? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of my evil exploits?
I didn't exactly hear firsthand. All I know is that someone in Dalimil has been spreading word to that effect.
And what? You believe it? You think I'm profiting off the blood of innocents, do you? Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when I turned a blind eye to the wretchedness of the world so I could line my pocket. But that woman is no more. And you'd know that if you'd ever paid the slightest bit of notice.
You're right, Lady Karen. I apologize. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
I didn't realize we doubted her.
It was. No. I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-gooding finger at a poor old woman.
Of course. Good day.
It was a weird dialogue, like, why did it go in that direction? Like, we just heard some random rumors and we believed them, like, what?
I spoke with Lady Karen.
What did she say?
That the rumors were unfounded, and and that I was a fool for thinking they might hold any truth, along with some other things that made her feelings clear. And while it sounds like she may have done things she regretted in her past, she says those days are behind her.
Oh, well, that's good. I knew Nan wasn't caught up in out bad. But why would people say she was? What did she ever do to them? It's not right.
No, it's not. But people do things for all sorts of reasons. Perhaps we'll never know.
Well, I'm going to find out. That trader, he said they were all talking about her in Dalimil. So that's where I'm going. I'll find someone who'll tell me, you'll see.
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's spreading these rumors means Karen ill.
Oh, right. But that's why you'll be coming with me, isn't it, Clive?
I suppose it is.
I'll find out who's been making up lies about poor Nan, and when I do, I don't know what I'll do, but it won't be pretty.
Oh, hello there. Didn't realize you were joining us. Joshua, if that's really even your name.
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
Yote such a tight water.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canva was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
Looks like he's even joining us for our side questing.
The bandits may be new. Look what they've left us.
It shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
Are the bad men going to come back?
The gentlemen of the town guard are strapping up.
You wouldn't happen to know if the pieces that were stolen from my stall were recovered?
Could be I know something more.
Clive, listen! I found someone who says he's heard the rumours about Nan.
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever will pay her price, be they knight or knave. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords and spears. And who will they all turn to keep them in steel? Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper at work?
Aye, it just so happens I have. You'll find her right here plying her trade most days.
Here in Dalimil? Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of vipers. Feeling bold, traveler? I hope so, for your sake. Now, if that's all, I have places to be.
Sorry to have kept you.
You don't think Nan's the Reaper, do you?
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places at once.
Eh? What do you mean?
Lady Karen hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has been running this store he spoke of?
Good question. I'll go and have a look.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but be careful, Clive.
You too, Goods.
If only everyone here didn't have to look so glowery.
Fuck! How the hell did they find it? No one knew where I was keeping that kill.
The gentlemen of the town guard are strapping something. Perhaps. What a mess.
It has long been my habit to keep a watchful eye on the comings and goings around Dalimil. I shall continue to do so. And our people might...
Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
Leave now, and we could pretend this didn't happen.
Work, right? Keep getting healed as they get pummeled. enjoyed this DLC personally.
Oh, you've done it now.
Indeed, I have.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell are you anyway?
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalamil. But then you turned up. Well, go on then. If you're going to end me, end me.
You're not worth the effort. Now be gone, before I change my mind.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goods. Right now.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty painted lout!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible lies about Nan!
Well, that will be easy enough. For they are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must pay for her crimes in blood.
Blood?
Goose, are you all right?
He's gonna kill Nan!
After what she did, it is only right. She ruined my life and the lives of countless others. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime, and I will not allow it to continue. Goots, was it? I have no quarrel with you. Only with your employer. Run along now. You need not pay for her sins.
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt Nan. Promise me you won't hurt her, or I'll kill you myself!
Goots, no.
Enough, all of you!
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalamil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind. Though it was just Bogan back then, wasn't it? I thought the years might have taught you some sense. But I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always been. What was it we called you? Wet legs?
You bitch! Everything that happened, it was all your fault! And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Goose, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck!
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs, you remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, Ab. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. But I reckon he wishes he was. It ain't easy going through life one eye short of a pair. After all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge. So I took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day to claim his due. But he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into this. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs too. But what if he comes back again?
What if he does? First we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson soon enough. But something tells me the Wet Legs has learned it already. Right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite enough attention already. Ta-ra, Clive.
Remind me never to cross you, Karen.
Job well done, I guess.
Arthur's got a big heart. It's a pity there's so many who are happy to take advantage of it.
The Fates seem bent on driving me from my inn. But if they want me out, they're gonna have to try harder. The Fates seem bent on driving me from my inn. If they want me out, they're gonna have to try harder.
My lord Marquis, it is you. Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian Rutherford, chief steward of your lord uncle's estate.
Of course. We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your lord uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your lord uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas, I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times, even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe on the road.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic, the other the old Imperial capital of Oriflamme.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose I'll start in Dalimil and work my way east.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray for your success and safety. My associate in Dhalmekia would have had to pass through the Republic's checkpoints to gain entry to the capital. Perhaps someone in Dalimil or Tabor would have seen him.
Thought I already did a quest here. What did I miss? Or is that what I just got? I guess so.
It's not going to be easy finding one man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something.
Mummy, are the bad men going to come back?
The gentlemen of the town guard are strapping the bunch.
This is no time to ride.
We haven't seen the last of those bastards. But when they attack again, we'll be ready for them.
Good girl.
Faster!
Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see your master here, so you can start by giving us all the coppers in your purse.
I already told you, I have nothing.
Then maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
Please! These men are trying to rob me!
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
You that one's master, then? If you kindly pay the coin he owes us, we can pretend you didn't draw your blade on Republican soldiers.
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. He hasn't had many visitors since we slit his throat.
It's very nice of Joshua to help with my questing.
I'd expect as much from Hugo's faithful, but these were men of the fist.
Much has changed in the Republican army since they lost their rock.
You've seen this kind of thing before, then?
Many times. I was sent here to observe the situation.
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I fancy I could defend myself against one, perhaps two, but a whole regiment. I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of the local garrison to make inquiries, his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a cell.
The captain is no more, and his men make the rules now.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free, only to be stopped again by those soldiers you so kindly dispatched.
What of the Fist Central Command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst their ranks.
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital and hunkered down behind her walls. Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but themselves.
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria. It's not safe here.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purses?
Not at all. Now, to find this second associate of Rutherford's. If he was bound for Oriflamme, I'll start at Northreach and see if I can pick up his trail. There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere. What happened here?
If you're with the others, they've already relieved me of my belongings.
I'm not. I'm looking for someone who was sent here by a man named Rutherford.
Then you found him. I'm Alistair Rockford, attendant to the Lady Ariane of House Wellesley.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria. It's been a long time since last I saw my great-aunt. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. Yes, she is. The Lady Dowager has granted me leave to assist your Uncle Stuart. I was on my way back from the old capital when I saw some villagers being robbed on the road here.
Bandits?
They looked more like field hands, but it didn't matter in the end. I did what I could to help the victims, but all it earned me was a pummel to the temple.
Which way did they go?
South, toward the gate.
All right. I'll take care of them. Founder knows I've met enough of their kind. You head back to Northreach, visit the Vale, tell them I sent you.
Thank you. I shall. Founder be your shield. It was only a short while ago that I was assaulted. If you hurry south, you may find those who did this.
That's indeed not very far.
They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Hello, how was the shopping? Oh yeah, I'm just getting warmed up. Oh, that's very sad. We all know you like your book vanilla.
Make for the town while you can. There may be more bandits nearby.
You don't need to tell me twice. Many thanks, traveler.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
and stand by as ill might befall the heir to the ducal throne.
It's just Clive, and I'm fine, which is more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attack so close to their gates.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. Some days they don't even send out patrols. There are few hands left to work the fields.
Yeah,
and
it's
even
not
fewer
really a
to
visual
transport the
improvement.
grain. The market stalls are nearly bare, and the price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon to see a fight break out over a crust of bread. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it. They were probably just desperate.
Rockford, listen to me. If you are to continue your investigation, you first need to seek the attention of a healer.
Of course. I shall return to Northreach right away. But allow me to thank you first. Had you not happened along,
Don't thank me. Thank Rutherford. It was he who sent me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I've got to. I shall send a Bastolus as soon as I'm able. Good day.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. If it isn't already too late.
Did you know it's Tuesday?
Tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece.
That's hype. Enjoy. What are you eating?
I got peppers to numb your tongue.
Are you eating lasky sauce?
There were ghosts at the gates, not days.
Okay, that's nice. Can't go wrong with that.
It's heartening to see that the Guard have rediscovered their purpose. I just hope they don't do anything stupid.
Nothing especially hype about that, but today is Tuesday, which means sauna night, and that's hype.
To the meadows, then. Let's go.
Don't get surrounded. Bogoti said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Light blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot.
Nanto.
Straight home now.
Yeah, let's go. Maybe he's rotating. Have you considered that? The Husker. Never underestimate this deep-seated spice for all things. No, over you. thought this was the... Apparently not. So I fought those guys for nothing. No, the side quests are awesome.
Now that is heady. This must be the Drake's Mint. That just leaves the Skyworm.
I guess it hasn't changed that much in that regard, like from the beginning. As soon as you start getting side quests, it's been about the same. But overall, like I pretty much said it at the beginning already, but it would be better if it was shorter and had just the main quest stuff. I don't need like artificial padding of duration in my games, not just in this game, but just like in games overall. I guess executives still feel like the amount of time hours it takes to clear is still like an important metric for a game, and it needs to be high. But I really don't know if any players feel like that. I mean, I guess there are probably some people who just look at like, oh, this game is so long, that's amazing. But I feel like that would be a small minority. Of course, there's been the extreme cases where some AAA games got released and they were like 2 hours long. So I think it's fair to complain at that point, but for most of the AAA games we are talking about taking like a 20-hour game and turning it into a 60-hour game. Which turns it from like a 10 to an 8 or something. Yeah, but I don't think people actually do. I think it's just executives that want the game to have many hours duration. Not the players. I could be wrong, but... Like in these cases, I wonder if there's a single person in the world who is like, oh yeah, I think these side quests make the game so much better. I wish it was even longer with more side quests. It's difficult to imagine, at least. I mean, there are always idiots in the world who might think some really random shit show. I don't know about that. But I don't think it would be like some general attitude, at least, even if there's one random weirdo in the world who thinks like that.
The Rest's location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it, a constant flow of information. Speaking of which, I received word from both my
I don't know if these are worse side quests than usual. These are like the same quality that Final Fantasy VII Remake had for side quests.
To be in the right place at the right
They
time.
sucked as well.
They both seem to think the realm's prospects rather grim.
I am afraid that grim would be putting it lightly. Storm is in crisis, and if we are to free her, we
yeah, but that's
must
because Final Fantasy XIII sucked.
And we must
and it was too long.
Together. Such is your Lord Uncle's wish,
as it is mine.
I will see that your Lord Uncle is made aware of the situation in both Dalmekia and Sanbrek. Ah, and inform him of your timely assistance, of course.
Extra dungeons. There are extra dungeons? Oh, that sucks. I guess. But yeah, that seems like a very random complaint.
Before I primed. She would have watched the battle unfold and witnessed its outcome. I trust she'll be waiting for me in Tabor, where I can finally introduce you.
Okay, well, that's good. Like, the combat in this game is really not very deep. Like, it really isn't. Battles are pretty much the same from the beginning of the game. You just get like extra flavor effects you can customize just to make it feel a little fresh. That's like character customization, changing your outfit of your character pretty much. So there isn't really much you can do to even lean heavier into that.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for you.
The combat is mostly like just like a cinematic experience to keep the story more interactive. That's how I look at it. But I guess people are entitled to their own opinions.
Looking for trouble again.
Well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again and again, and you can't stop me.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if it makes you happy.
How can it be bored of turn-based? Like, when have you even had a turn-based game? Like 15 years ago, 20 years ago?
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's his maybe. If he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking.
Yeah, this is all about the boss battles, and that's the one thing they should have leaned more heavily into by keeping them like more
just like you did in Dalamil.
Integral, skipping the random side stuff.
Of course.
More boss battles, that's all.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today will cost you the same as it did
yesterday. Is Baldur's Gate 3 actually turn-based? That's surprising. I mean, Baldur's Gate 2 wasn't turn-based back in the day. So I'm kind of surprised if that's the case. Huh.
Let me tell you a story, Clive.
All right.
Like, none of the original Baldur's Gate games were actually turn-based. Yeah, but it's real time. Well, I don't even know. I don't think they even had action points.
You see, there was a time when I weren't too particular about who I sold steel to, so long as they paid me the right price.
But yeah, that's kind of surprising.
Some women lust after blood, others after flesh, but me, I were always one for gold. And to satisfy that lust, I sold to opposing armies, stabbed my every client in the back, made myself the most hated woman in the twins.
But yeah, Kimi, like if you're talking gameplay, then I'll always take turn-based.
A man who made me a different kind of offer.
But this is very good, of course, for a cinematic experience. In Final Fantasy 7 games, I would much rather take turn-based.
On the condition I sold to him and his alone.
But the ATB at least kinda works.
Aye. I fell right into his damn
Like, it's
trap.
not perfect, but it kind of works, at
True to
least
his
when you have
word,
full
so I
party and
ended up
everything.
being true to mine, and I soon started making the best profits I've seen since taking up the trade. And all without aiding or abetting any outlaws. Except Sid himself, that is. Told me about his plan to topple the mother crystals, you know.
Nice
Said that
mushrooms.
with them gone, the realm would want for all manner of things. An
I
opportunity
wonder what
for the
mushrooms
likes of
those
me
are.
to
After
mingle.
Mulipoletes.
Why, I reckon an
Tatti.
enterprising individual could find himself the richest gem in the twins. And that's when he had
I
me.
see, that really is very surprising. That they would take a game that wasn't originally turn-based and turn it into a turn-based for a present-day sequel. That's like the complete opposite direction of what people usually do. And everyone is loving it, so I guess that's good proof of the format actually being very good even nowadays. So that's
You've
cool.
all shown me there are some things more precious than Gil.
That there are.
So don't you go messing it all up.
Yeah, that's how all the Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, etc. games are. Like everything like takes certain time and etc. and you can pause freely to give commands.
It seems the hideaway has lost its appetite.
Can you blame them? So, did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look, in fact.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, why?
I'm honestly really surprised about it because
Well, at least it were an actual
it feels like that would slow down the gameplay a ton, considering how many like how much there's just like normal auto attacking in the battles in Baldur's Gate
grand
games.
old chefs of yore knew what they were on about.
And you can have like 20 different enemies in the battle at the same time.
And here we have it.
So I'm very curious how they made that work without it feeling like a total
offered
drag.
to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honor than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
Final Fantasy games used to be very deep when they were turn-based. Of course, now they're not. That they're just action games.
So, not fit for consumption then.
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet it is the piquant kiss of the Saint's Bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force, a force of nature even, a maelstrom of flame.
Yeah, I could do that, but I also don't want any spoilers for the game, so I'll play it eventually.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking. But I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
Decent? It's remarkable. And I defy any man to say a word to the contrary. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
That book may be a veritable treasure trove, but the recipes are hardly what I'd call honest fare.
Oh, who needs honesty when they can have majesty? Our companions deserve only the very best.
But again, like, I don't think this game should be turn-based, for example. I don't think it even needs to be a Final Fantasy game.
With the skies as they are.
They should instead be leaning more heavily into the very cool story and boss battle cinematics and leave out this extra stuff. it had very nice challenges that you need to figure out some cool custom setups for. But yeah, those games were more about figuring out the setup than doing combos in the battles themselves. Okay, I guess I'm done with the other side quests except the one that's in my main quest location. Right.
Ready, go?
Yeah!
We can use the ruins to cross the ravine.
Assuming they would allow it. The Echoes have a will of their own.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate.
Tell us about Yote, Joshua.
Like, that was a really bad design.
Loyal and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive.
I've never used Final Fantasy VIII as an example of good game design. It had so many bad game design decisions. Scaling enemies, that was already bad. Well, maybe you can say that was the worst thing in the game, actually, in design-wise. Like, I think it was the first time they were experimenting with that, and it was just terrible. Because it led to the best gameplay system being to, like, not fighting. Because then the game will be easy. The more you level up, the harder the enemies get, basically. And that's so stupid. I played it normally. I got to, like, max level, and it had some nice challenges. But I'm well aware of that was playing on hard mode. But even that aside, like, having to draw those spells from the enemies was like a cool concept that was terrible in practice. Because it would be like, oh, it's a new spell, now let's spend 1 hour drawing the max from this spell, from this enemy.
We'll have our reasons. Ain't exactly feeling like sharing with strangers myself at the mo. Truth be told, I could do with a bit of inspiration. Don't know which way to turn no more. Was doing a roaring trade back in Oriflamme. Right up until the poor Drake lost her noggin. So, thought I'd try me luck in the desert. And the Fang went the same way. And don't get me started on the mess in the bloomin' Dominion. Suppose I could try Canberra next. But knowing my luck, the old place be crawling with the work before I'd even sight me store. As I always say.
It had very good battles themselves, like, for its era they were, like, very visually cool.
So, where to next? Is there any money to be made in Ash? Do orcs even carry Gil? I do. Where are you off to now then? Bound for the free cities, perhaps?
Yeah, it had some extremely long animations for them.
We all have our reasons. Ain't exactly feeling like sharing with strangers myself, you know?
You're injured.
Final Fantasy VIII has never really been a game
Where are your comrades?
Like, I really loved it. Like, the story and everything was very cool. But it's not a game that I have, like, that much nostalgia back to, apart from that story stuff, like all the teenage romance and everything. That was nice.
Tanned.
Like I'm not like, I really want a Final Fantasy VIII remake or something.
There's a village not far from here.
Oh, that's an interesting pick.
The people were kind to us.
A lot of people say that Final Fantasy VI is better than 7, and that's definitely something you can argue about. But not many people say like 5 is their favorite.
We can't let those monsters reach the...
I'll go. You catch your breath.
Thank you.
Okay.
Encampment is
Did it have something special in combat?
just off the track.
Are you talking about all that class switch stuff? That was in 5, right?
Forgive me, Lord Kuka.
Rest well, soldier.
Right. It had some insanely difficult battles as well. Like most of the turn-based games do.
Let's hope the Akashic are still there.
Yeah, I guess that system went to the Final Fantasy Tactics. I didn't really miss it, I didn't care that much for it. But it was something interesting. For a game, I guess.
Another ether flood. They're everywhere now.
We can't go round
6 had an otherwise huge roster instead with many secret characters, so that was really cool.
Right. I got here in time.
I remember 6 had many missable characters, and some could even be like characters who die during the story if you don't do stuff correctly to save them. Someone at the door, give me a sec. I'm not expecting anyone.
Se oli ihan pimeetä tuossa.
Right, it's my stepdad who is bringing the car to keep in my parking slot. Sudden visit.
Is someone there? Please, I can't move my leg.
That doesn't sound like an Akashic. battalion?
I am. I heard the fighting. Are the others?
Taken care of. One of your brothers-in-arms told me what happened and asked for help.
Another survivor? Where is he? Tell me.
His wounds were too deep.
He was right to send you. Those things you slew are no longer my brothers. They were safe thanks to you. Here.
They could have at least made it like some more interesting looking thing than like a purple filter. Like some roiling crimson colors. I'll be right back.
Mun se tankki vuotaa siitä, että ne oli siellä kerrostalossa valittanut, että siellä haisee käytävässä. Rappukäytävässä bensaa. Joo. Kato, mä kävin äsken hakea pois. Ei siellä sit siellä enää, mä avasin, kun tuonne autotalli oli raitiselman ulkon, niin se ilma kiertää vähän. Mä toin pois sen pesisän lattialla. Joo. Nyt on täytyy katsoa, milloin se pussi menee tuosta ohjauksessa. Muistatko aikataulu? Ei muista. Tuleeko tehtävä lattia? Saa se pysäkkää aikataulu. Joo. No mitä muuta? Milloin sä sinne lähdet? Maaliskuussa. Maaliskuussa. Mä tuon hakea kaatavammat sitten pois. Me yritetään Tampereen saada kuntoon. Ja mitäs tän sitten? 20 yli näyttää mennä on bussikosta. 20. Kyllä mä tein, kauan tästä kävelee. 10 minuuttia. Parturisikin käynyt. Ei 10 sekuntia joo. Sä nuorennuit aika paljon. Ihan oikeesti. Tulee nuoremman näköisesti. Näin joo. Mä käyn pitää tätä nyt. Mitä on päätä paljon tästä oli. Joo. Ne viittis millään pitää pitää paljon. Joo. Tämmönen se. Mä kato vasareja siitä. No. Mä muuten kävin siinä, kun mainitsin, että oli tullut uutta lunta, niin mä katsoin, että joo, näyttää hyvältä, niin pääsin pelolle pitää. Yhdeksi päiväksi, niin taas oli jotenkin. Joo, se oli hyvä varmaan, siinä oli hyvä, se oli just se oli pari sen. Joo, ihan kunnolla hyvä. Joo. Mä oonkin odottanut nyt, lupasko mä nyt tämä loppuun, jos pakkas, mä ensin laskettelen siihen pariksi tunniksi. Mä hommasin ja uudet NS-käytetyt, monot uudet, mutta vähän niin kuin numero pienemmät ja kuitenkin saman tyyliset ne aukeaa siellä takaa helpollista jalkaan. Mä ostin suksetkin toista. Sukset, lasketut sukset. Maksan 30 niistä. Se on ihan, mä olin mennyt 60 rahana. Mä olin, niin, voit tää käydä sellainen heinäasteella. Joo. Tää viikko tai ensi viikolla mä käyn viikko. Silloin ensi viikolla me lähdetään sinne. Perjantaina lähdetään Helsingin venemessuun. Se, missä meidän se vene on, niin me järjestetään ilmaisen kuljetuksen sinne. Ja siinä on jotain juotavaa ja syötävää siellä. Kun siinä on pit-stoppi on kato puolessa välissä. Ei mitään, mä lähden kävelettämään myöhemmin, koska sitten joutuu tunnin venaamaan tai puoli tuntia. Kävin yksi meni itse asiassa bussi 3 minuuttia etuajassa vaan. Joo, se, jos ei tule ketään kyytiin, niin se tulee aika äkkiä. Kaikki kun ajaa sitä itsekin, se tulee, en mä sitä kelloa niin kauheasti katsomaan. Tulee sitä vauhtia, mitä tulee. Ja jos ei ketään kyytiin tule, niin saat 5 minuuttia ennen kuin sitten siinä lähtee varaan. Joo. Kiva mennä se just näin. Just näin kävi. Puoltuunkin odotat siinä. Näyttää arvita. Ei mitään. Joo, moi moi. Se tulee lauantai 10 hakemaan. 10, okei. Okay. Joo. Se on 12 jälkeen viikossa. Joo. Mennään väliin.
Alright, he's gone again. And I am back. Otto.
You seem familiar. Have we met?
You must have me confused with someone else.
Son of a whore. You're Sid. I was there in Cosmos when you killed my brothers. I was there in Rosalith when you killed my commander.
My war with Hugo Kupka is over. I bear no ill will toward those who followed him.
And what of my ill will?
Screw your ill will.
Coward! Draw your steel. Lord Kupka shall be avenged!
When your wounds have healed and your head has cooled, come and find me if you must. Though I hazard your life would be better spent in service of those who need it. Or have you forgotten your oath to the Republic?
My oath? What would you know of oaths?
I know how hard they are to keep. Which is why I'm giving you the chance to keep yours.
No. I won't be deceived. Lord Kupka told us of your crimes. You are an outlaw. A murderer, not some...
Man. Like you or anyone else.
I am nothing like you. But if you're not gonna kill me, then go. Leave! Just know that I will find you, Sid.
Sure, get in line.
Someday.
You will regret not killing me when you had a chance, Sid. I will avenge my master.
Bloody heights. Okay, looks like... Oh yeah, I had one hunt to do as well. Let's see, where was that? South of Tabor, Dalmacia, Fields of Korapa. Close to the main road. Back of woods. Well, let's see. This area is fairly large, but probably won't be that hard to find. Maybe it's even those guys. I don't know. Well, no. That's not the fields anymore. It shouldn't be there. Yeah, personals aren't really about the combat. It's more about the time management related to combat. Like you are like clearing a bar, clearing content in the least amount of time possible. But yeah, the end game combat and challenges are... I don't think like the game mechanics in the whole Shin Megami Tensei are that great, and that's why I don't really get people who like the non-Persona games in the series. Because those are just much worse. The gameplay isn't great, but they don't have story either. It's just for people who like insane challenges of needing to like grind very specific stuff for a very long time. To make very specific fusions and stuff like that. So where are those wolves? Let's read this again. Through Tabor to the fields of Korra. No, there's Tabor. 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 Is Tabor here somewhere? That's not Tabor. I guess it's one of the blocked areas, so that's not helping me a lot. Yeah, it's greater, but mainly because the gameplay is like worse. Like at least in the older games you don't really have like a fusion dictionary where you can conveniently summon more stuff from. You just need to like slowly hunt and fuse every single fusion you want. Like if you want a certain fusion, instead of going to a compendium, you will go to a place where that fusion appears and then try to recruit it to be able to use the new fusion. And that's just like, it's a waste of time, it's not better gameplay. And on top of that, the requirements for some of the special encounters are like even stricter than in any Persona games, despite not having as good tools for actually making custom personas. I mean, they're not personas, but whatever they are called in the specific games.
Time to fight.
I feel I checked like this whole area already. But it's only like a C rank hunt, it couldn't be that hidden. I guess the question is where is Tabor? Maybe that part of the statement is more confusing than expected. Is it visible on the actual map? Doesn't seem so. Okay, let's read this again, maybe I'm missing some clue. A team of curse breakers traveling through Tabor, through the fields of Korava, were met by a group of hunters from the village. What village? Is Tabor the name of a village? I didn't see that on the map at least. Who warned them not to stray too far from the main road. For in a gully not far hence rested a pack of wolves that even such practiced hunters as they would not dare to wake. So it's a gully near the main road, but the question is what main road? do they mean this? But I think I already fought one bounty here, so it's probably not that. No. And besides, it's, like I said earlier, when I turned back, that's not Fields of Korova anymore. I guess I have to get anyway. Just in case. Make for Tabor, okay. The Tabor is actually part of my main quest. So I guess that means Tabor is like here. Oh, so it could actually be like here. Huh, okay, could be. Somewhere after the next town.
Come on. Back. Straight home now.
Come on. Why can't I lose that? I don't want to fight this one. Sure. Nope. With the world. Regal says. Yay, a minor upgrade. Awesome.
Good girl. Run like the wind.
Yes. This can be the best year of my parentheses remaining life.
Enough of you, are there?
I'm going to get something there. I don't know. I guess that depends on your perspective. It got some likes, so I guess people are resonating with it. just think it makes sense. Enjoy while you can.
Come on.
You think?
I do.
I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Bound for the free cities.
The world is going to shit, so enjoy it while you can, because every year is gonna be worse than the
We'll have our
previous.
reasons. Ain't exactly feeling like sharing with strangers myself at the mo.
Which also means that every year is gonna be your best
Doing
year.
a bit of inspiration. Don't know which way to turn no more. Was doing a roaring trade back in Oriflamme. Right up until the poor Drake lost her noggin. So, thought I'd try me luck in the desert. And the Fang went the same way. And don't get me started on the mess in the bloomin' Dominion.
I think it's a positive take on the reality of the world.
The old place be crawling with the works before it even sighted me stall. But as I always say, where there's
Instead of getting depressed about it, enjoy. Always look on the bright side of the world.
to mint gill, that is. So, where to next? Is there any money to be made in Ash? Do orcs even carry gill? I do. Very well. Do now then. Bound for the free cities, perhaps? Oh, no need to say if you'd rather not. We all have our reasons. Ain't exactly feeling like sharing with strangers myself at the mo. Truth be told, I could do with a bit of inspiration. Don't know which way to turn no more. Was doing a roaring trade back in Oriflamme. Right up until the poor Drake lost her noggin. So, thought I'd try me luck in the desert. And the Fang went the same
For
way.
example, a few years back when we went snorkeling in Isu, which was super cool, and we could see all kinds of colorful corals and stuff like that. Then when we got back there like 2 years later, there weren't that many corals left anymore, because I think corals are dying pretty fast with the warmer weather. So we might have just been able to do like the last snorkeling in the area while still enjoying corals. So I'm happy we were able to hit that window, and I think that applies to a lot of stuff. So I want to experience things while I still can, before they will forever be impossible to experience.
No need to say if you'd rather not. We all have our reasons. Ain't exactly feeling like sharing with strangers myself at the mo. Truth be told, I could do with a bit of inspiration. Don't know which way to turn no more. Was doing a roaring trade back in Oriflamme. Right up until the poor Drake lost her noggin. So, thought I'd try me luck in the desert. And the Fang went the same way. And don't get me started on the mess in the bloomin' Dominion. Suppose I could try Camber next. But knowing my luck, the old place be crawling with the works before it even sighted me stall. As I always say, where there's crisis.
That guy sure likes to talk. Probably the longest dialogue I saw from any NPC so far. Well, I guess I need to clear these guys to get the treasure that's here somewhere. I'll get it to it in a minute before they come out. Much of the key. you trying to claim that there isn't any treasure here? That's impossible. There's always a treasure. This place has two filters, the purple one and a blue one. Oh, nothing? Okay. Yes.
Ready, go?
Oh, there it is.
We're nearly there.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
No need to ride from here.
Welcome, travelers. We don't get many visitors here in Tabor.
Where now, Joshua?
People.
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.
Here, take a look at my wares. A fine choice.
What brings you to our humble village, young man? If it's our artisans you're here to see, then please. But do try not to interrupt their work.
Forgive me, traveler, but no matter how deep your pockets might be, we only sell to trusted patrons. I do hope you've not had a wasted journey.
Yes, the finish is exquisite. These will make us rich. Rich, I tell you.
I feel like I fleshed 100 skins today.
Stay focused, will you? One slip with that scrape and the hunter's hard work will be for nothing.
Stand back, friend. You don't want to get this stuff on you, believe me.
Oh, sorry. Just finishing loading the last of our wares. We'll be out of your way soon enough.
Here's the scraps you were after.
Thanks. Can't do without leather if I'm to polish these stones.
You can go inside if you want, but stay quiet.
Yeah, they're polishing the stones for shipment. Any sudden noises and they might drop one.
These aren't ready for sale, if that's what you're thinking. And I'll thank you to keep your hands to yourself.
By the way. I don't think we need to wait for that to do.
It does indeed. Can't blame the beasts for being on edge.
Oh, that's what you meant. Yeah, okay. Right. Yeah, that will be a good bar night for sure.
They're fantastic. Soft as phoenix down, but tough as boiled bow.
Will be interesting to follow it live for sure. I mean, it's like the US is so cooked.
That Cyril fella's an odd fish, don't you think?
Well, scholarly sorts like him always are, aren't they?
Why won't the sky go back to how it was? I don't like it.
Nor do I, dearie. In all my long years, I've never seen such a thing.
So it's these stones to Canva, and the rest of the boxes to Dalamil.
Everyone is collecting these goblin coins as a meme.
You wouldn't happen to have a decent whetstone in there, would you, madam?
I'm sure I can find you something. All of these stones have a good bit of diamond dust in them. That'll see your sword sharp, all right?
Not a scratch on them. These hides will fetch a good price.
Have you noticed the Elder has been coughing less of late?
Yes. I hear Master Cyril drew up a new tonic for him.
Thank you for the deer leg, mister. Mummy made a pottage from it.
Sounds delicious. Perhaps she'll invite me around to try it next time.
Decent quarry's been hard to find since the sky's turned.
It has indeed. Can't blame the beasts for being on edge.
How are those new boots treating you?
They're fantastic. Soft as phoenix down, but tough as boiled bow.
But hey, there's still a lot of time until that. There's a non-zero chance that both candidates will die of old age and bad health by then.
Scholarly sorts like him always are, aren't they?
Although you know what they say, evil never dies. Did I finish exploring this whole place? It's kind of hard to tell with the way it loops around. Probably I did.
Why won't the sky go back to how it was?
Yeah, that's, I mean, honestly, let's be real, that will also be good. I mean, Biden is the least likely Democratic nominee to win against Trump, so anyone else would be better. Both parties are just completely, like, captured. It's very sad to watch. Hello. I like her design. I don't think there's any world where Trump would live to be 100 though. Like, he's so unhealthy.
I am Yote,
And he's not even trying to live,
Knight of
like,
the Undying, charged
healthily.
with the protection of
And
His
he's
Grace,
popping so many drugs, no doubt.
Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix.
Sure.
It all makes sense now.
Would you care to elaborate?
The Undying are loyal servants to the ducal throne. Or more specifically, to its heir. They have served our family for generations, albeit from the shadows.
Since their inception, they have been tasked with the preservation and enactment of the rites of ancestral communion. After the events at Phoenix Gate, it was the Undying who delivered me to safety. And since the day I left Rosaria, Yote has been my constant companion and protector.
Yote.
Without her sword, I would not have survived.
Interesting way to pronounce that.
Rise, Lady Yote.
It's a Finnish name.
You
not
saved my
Shay, but
brother.
Yay. Like in Yakke, for example.
I but did my duty.
Come now. Tell us what you've
That
discovered.
must be why I like her.
Your Grace. It is as you feared. The vessel we spied off the coast of the Crystalline Dominion on the night of her fall. It was the Einherjar. Beyond any doubt.
The Black Galleon.
Joshua. The Einherjar is the Royalist flagship.
Indeed.
What business would they have in the Dominion?
Upon learning of Waloed's involvement in recent events at Drake's Fang, I sensed the malign influence of Ultima, and bid Yote and the Undying look into the matter.
We have reason to believe that the Black Galleon weighed anchor shortly after the fighting began, and set a course due south.
For Canva. Then it is Waloed knights who besiege the cities.
What is left of them? Yes. And the Black Galleon sails up at one man's behest. Barnabas Tharm.
What is this? Main story? Hardly knew her.
But are we truly safe here in the Agora?
The city guard have been paid, if that's what you're implying.
All the more reason for them to run.
Well, you are free to leave, Lord Minister.
Markets abandoned, warehouses aflame, blackened hulls choking every port in the capital. Canva is ruined.
The realm teeters on the brink of chaos, and all you can think about is commerce.
Forgive us. We were not aware Dalmekia now subsisted on charity.
How dare you?
Distinguished members of the Council, you must forgive His Majesty this intrusion.
What is the meaning of this?
A trifle crowded, but I fear it will have to serve, my liege.
Very well.
My colleagues, do you not see? The king, he has come to save us from the Akashic.
Indeed, indeed.
He is a gift from the heavens, divine intervention, our very salvation.
And of course, if it is compensation he requires, we would be most willing to negotiate a fair price for services rendered.
Fools. Your ignorance unbecomes you.
Your Majesty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would swear that the fiends washing the cobbles of Canva with the blood of her citizens wear the colors of Waloed. Ha! So you do not deny it. Guards, fetter them, and see our guests to the dungeons!
Enough. Pathetic creatures.
Almost like he doesn't like people.
You should imagine yourselves worthy of salvation. The girl is still here, somewhere in the city. Her consciousness fair dripping with her late father's hubris.
The girl...
A consciousness to which Mythos is
I guess they're talking about Mead for some reason.
And inexorably drawn.
Not sure why they would care about her.
See that he is made welcome.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come, Mythos. Surely the prince's light cannot have sated you.
So then, how long has Waloed been under Ultima's control?
How long indeed? Based on what we know of Barnabas's actions, I would guess some few years, mayhap more.
But to what end? What does Ultima want?
The tapestry. Show them.
By the flames.
Phoenix Gate, Drake's Breath, and now here. But what is it?
It is old, ancient, even. Naught remains of the faith it represents, save what can be gleaned from the image itself. None could tell me what the one in the apothecary meant. Even the Undying.
Is it an ultimate weapon?
But I believe it may be the key to discerning Ultima's purpose. That figure in the center, the one beneath whom the icons congregate, that I believe to be Ultima. He is a god, or at least godlike, his very existence beyond our ken. The icons, and by extension their dominants, are meant to be his subjects, and while some, like Barnabas, have accepted this role, others have rejected it, like you, Clive, which is rather inconvenient, as it appears he needs you most of all. And gods don't like to be disobeyed.
No, I don't suppose they do.
Clive, may I tell Yote of the lake?
By all means.
Yote, I will be accompanying my brother to the Free Cities. Whilst we are afield, I would have you watch over those Clive has made his wards. Omielos delan tuisag ilith. Though well concealed, the hideaway lacks trained fighters to defend its occupants should they be discovered.
But it is my duty to...
As it has ever been my brother's duty, remember.
If that is your wish, Your Grace. But please be safe. If aught were to befall you,
You have my word.
They're a sweet couple.
Farewell, my lord, my lady.
We are in your debt, Yote.
Let's find our friends.
It's plain she cares for you very deeply.
And I her, which is why I had to let her go.
Oh, yeah. Who could have seen that coming?
Opportunity.
What brings you to our humble village, young man?
Side quests
If it's our
bring me
artisans
here.
you're here to see, then please, do try not to.
Is that blade for hire, perchance? Because I have a mind
It's
to make
not.
it clean.
Figuratively, I hope.
But we are happy to do whatever
Yes, I
anyone has told
know.
us.
A passing caravan carried with it a rumor most fortuitous for one in my trade, that an elder Dread Evis had been sighted in the fields of Carava. Dread Evis are aggressive beasts. Compelled as they are to acts of violence, few survive to maturity, but those that do develop a hide of phenomenal value.
A hide you want to sell?
Eventually, yes. Though I would have it tanned first that it might be crafted into marvels the likes of which the world has never seen. Dread Evis skin is a rare thing indeed. But the worked hide of a well-aged beast, now that would fetch such coin that Gilbert himself might weep with envy. Bring me that beast's skin, and I will share with you the bounty of our combined labors.
All right.
Of course,
I'll
of
hunt your
course.
Evis.
Of course you will.
Of course I
When one
will.
lives in such troubled times, it is a fool who lets opportunity slip his
I
grasp.
can take a bloody
Leave
hide in
Tabor through the
payment
east gate,
or
or
something
take the
as
path that
useful.
branches west. Once you reach the checkpoint at Tovany, you are a mere stone's throw from the fields of Carava. I eagerly await your safe, and above all, triumphant return. A fortune in skin and scale awaits any man with the will to claim it for his own. Leave Tabor by that path and venture west. The ancient beast roams the fields of Carava, not far from the Tovany Gate.
Careful how you pack that leather. Any creases or scratches.
You! Finally. No one was paying
I wonder
me
why.
the slightest heed.
Is something wrong?
At the university, the students would hang on my every word. Sadly, this far from home, I'm just a vagrant greybeard.
The university? You're a scholar.
A specialist in ancient cultures. The most accomplished in all Valisthea, some have said. Not that I look the part in these tattered rags. In my heyday, no obstacle could have kept me from my studies. Yet here I am, a wizened windbag, bested by the many steps of Tabor. The answers I seek lying just beyond my enfeebled reach. Would you do an old man a kindness and brave the stairs in my stead? You'll be amply rewarded, of course.
Of course. I might learn to take this kind of quests.
Memorize a few inscriptions for me.
No,
Assuming you know
please teach me the letters.
Some courteous soul is rumored to have carved clues to Tabor's rich history into stones dotted about the village. 3 of them, to be precise. One each to the north, south, and east. I'm here in the hope that those carvings might shed light on a riddle I've been pondering for some time. Namely, the otherwise undocumented origins of Tabor's unique people. People quite unlike those of neighboring lands.
I can't promise I'll remember everything perfectly.
Remember what you can. I'll piece together the rest. Make for the domed pavilions, and you'll have no trouble finding the stones. If it wasn't for those dome roofs protecting the stones from the elements, the truth of Tabor's history would have been lost centuries ago.
I must find 3 hidden objects here, apparently.
How are those new boots treating you?
They're fantastic. Soft as Phoenix.
No history would be complete without mention of the mother crystals.
Let's go. I go back to how it was. I don't like it.
So it's these stones to Canva, and the rest of the boxes to Dallin.
Not a scratch on them. Have you noticed the Elder has been coughing?
What golden plains might the wanderers have called home, I wonder?
Mummy made a pottage from it.
Sounds delicious. Farmers must have settled here in Tabor. I should speak to the old scholar before I forget everything I've read.
One of them was right next to him.
The engravings were in good repair considering their age.
Oh, what that I could have seen for myself. Oh, come, don't tease me now. What did you learn of this place and its people? Let's start with the engraving to the south, shall we? What did it say?
South.
Guardians of the Crystal, the first stones of Tabor, sacred hold thy noble blood.
I was very much hoping he would memorize them, and I don't have to.
I'm pretty sure that was it.
Fascinating. It would seem the founders of this city were descendants of those fallen charged with protecting the mother crystals. But whatever could have driven the Guardians so far from their sacred charges, I wonder? The engraving to the north is next, I think.
Wanderers of the Golden Plains, lay your roots in stone. With pride recall thy noble past, and make these rocks a home. Or, I think that was it, at least.
No doubt you're right. There are vestiges of nomadic customs in Tabor its guardian roots could never account for. This is proving most enlightening. Now, for the final stone.
Children of the hunters, now tillers of the land, reap her promised blessing and give praise her gracious hand. That's all 3.
And so, we add primitive farmers to Tabor's founding peoples, the final piece of the puzzle.
Indeed, indeed.
3 engravings, 1 for each of the 3 peoples to have settled Tabor in ancient times. Guardians of the Mother Crystal, wanderers from across the plains, and last but certainly not least, hunters turned farmers. Little wonder it was so difficult to trace the roots of Tabor's culture. Those roots reach down through 3 distinct traditions. Nonetheless, one cannot help but wonder why this fact is not better known among scholars, given that the stones stand here for all to see.
Too many stairs, perhaps.
Ha! Too many by far. Here, and thank you.
I'm guessing that normal people can read those texts, but it's only a very minor footnote with no real relevance.
For years, I have pondered the mysteries of Tabor's founding. Would that I had made the journey as a younger man, when stairs held none of their terror.
What is this? Okay. Oh, there's a path here that I haven't discovered before that seems to be open. That's something to bear in mind. I'll probably get a hunt there eventually or something. For now the hunt should be somewhere after this. I guess this will loop here or maybe here. But either way, the hunt should be somewhere after the city. But I think it's getting late enough that I'll fix myself some dinner. It seems like a good stopping point for now. So let's save. Almost got a level. So that's all for now. I shall be back. See you. Thanks for watching.